Aloha and welcome to The Cozy Zone. I'm your host, Persephone Jane, and today we are continuing our series of EQ in picture books and discussing What Do You Do with an Idea, written by Kobi Yamada, illustrated by Mae Besom. Listen, I love a good, meta think outside the box book, okay? So when I first saw this, what do you do with an idea? And then I read it, and I felt a little called out, I won't lie, because I'm an author. And as an author, I have ideas all the time. And this book, well, it kind of shoved the way that I see ideas kind of in my face. At first, I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me, but it followed me. I kept it to myself. I hid it away. I didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before my idea showed up. But there was something magical about my idea. It wants lots of attention, and they become friends. I showed it to other people, even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly, and many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time and that it would never become anything. And at first, I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. So, if you are a creative of any kind, this book is for you. If your children are struggling not only with creating, but with tenacity, with sticking to their idea or their concept or their friendship or their class, whatever the thing is, this is a good space to begin kind of bringing these ethereal concepts down into the reality of how they can interact with them and how they can keep them around and keep them in their lives. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do, and it's okay if it's different and weird and maybe a little crazy. I decided to protect it, to care for it. He protected his idea and cared for his idea. And I also love this story because once he takes ownership of the idea, more color comes into the illustrations, and then he becomes colorful. And then one day the idea takes on a life of its own and the whole page becomes colorful. Whereas before it was very sparse. And even when there were illustrations, they weren't colorful. So you have these words that are walking you through this creative process, basically. And then you have these pictures that are showing you how an idea and a concept and you nurturing it can literally change. It's showing you right before your eyes. The visual component put together with the words is, I think, something that we as adults forget about. We lose touch with that. We forget how powerful that can be. It's why we go to the movies, because we're listening, but we're also seeing it. That double input to our brain is more impactful. Double input. Read the words, hear them, understand them, and see the pictures. This is another reason that picture books are so great for adults, is because it pulls you down to your base understanding of your interaction with the world, not your base understanding. It pulls you down to your base levels of interacting with the world, to when you interacted with all of your senses. That's what picture books do for us as adults. They remind us to interact with more than just one sense. So if you need a reminder on how to nurture an idea, try this one. See you next time.